Hello, YouTube. American Pie Lights Out. I am back. I am obviously not black, and I do have a hairy sack. Uh, Seriously, I'm, I'm looking. Well, I'll tell you what. Might as well have a bar mitzvah for me because I'm looking a little hairy down there, if you know what I mean. Thanks to Bobby. He, he and other people have been encouraging me to come out of retirement. I'm retired, drawing my Social Security, my SSI, my welfare, getting my food stamps. No, I'm just kidding. I can't get those. Uh, really just been so uninterested with fragrance community, Facebook, Instagram, all the social medias. Just so uninterested in it. Everywhere I turn, it's just a political video. And, I have a lot of friends in the community, a lot of friends in my personal life that I can't really say a lot, but some people that I really like. A lot of some the two or three guys that view my videos, people I really like. Even though that we don't really talk anymore, and that's just the way life goes. I always say that if two women don't talk in 2 years, they for some reason they end up hating each other. Whereas if two men don't talk in 20 years, we see each other and we just turn into the same old uh, dirty SOBs that we, truly are, some downright scoundrels. But nonetheless, I just, I'm so exhausted. Anytime I miss, and I say this in a joking manner, but I miss when TikTok was just girls twerking the videos and, and tight leggings and having, you see their thongs and everything. I miss that TikTok. It's just you know, TikTok is pushing an agenda, and it's just so exhausting everywhere I turn. I just want to, if I get on TikTok or Instagram or Facebook or, any sort of social media, I don't want to be bombarded with that every single day. I feel like Lena Rhodes getting gangbanged by political stuff, and I can't. It's just so exhausting. If it wasn't for family, if it wasn't for friends, I would delete every single bit of it. I would delete Google. If it wasn't for work, I'll be honest, I probably wouldn't have a phone. I would have reverted back to being a hermit or living off the grid, so to speak. I really would. It's just so much, and it builds so much anxiety too. I don't know if I'm the only person that feels it, but I just feel so much anxiety. And then when I see stuff I don't like, it obviously makes me angry, and it builds tension up inside of myself. And I realize, it's a lot of it's fake, fabricated stuff, but that's the stuff that's really dangerous. In all honesty, it's like a fake, fabricated stuff with perfume. You know, a brand saying it's all natural, but it's taking into account, or it's predominantly natural, but they're taking in account for the perfumer's alcohol being natural as well. Bunch of BS. I, I have, I've come to the point where I really don't respect any fragrance brand. I'm so exhausted. I'm so tired of it. I know, uh, financially speaking, I don't buy fragrances that much anymore. I'll buy them for someone else. If there's something for a really good deal, I'll buy it. Uh, I'm not struggling. This isn't a financial cry for help. I'm not going to put my PayPal or Cash App or whatever in my bio to ask for money or in the comments. I'm not going to do that. There's been people in the past before that's asked me in private, hey man, if I donate, 50 to $100 for your to buy fragrances. No, I don't want it. I don't want you to send me a perfume. I don't want you to send me. Back when I had my old channel and it was kind of starting to pick up a little bit, I had people reach out and ask me, hey, will you try this? And I was like, no, because I'd make a video on it. If your stuff's crap, it's crap. If you don't know how to blend perfume, I mean, I'm not gonna lie on camera. I'm not going to make a video about it, so it'd just be kind of, a waste of your products, a waste of your materials, a waste of shipping it to me. Uh, and then me simply you taking a BB gun, and pew pew and shooting the bottle or sample or whatever you sent me, But I was kind of being a little bit negative and a little bit flamboyant right there, but no, I apologize. I'm going to be talking about some of the things that I've been wearing lately, and probably go off on different segues and around the corner and over the river and through the woods to grandmother's house we go. Uh, Things I've been wearing lately, been wearing a lot of Descenders by Lesb Straits. Shout out to Eugene. This is, I'll be honest, I don't like green fragrances. I never have. I've always felt like green fragrances were an are an easy, cheap way for people to sell fragrances. People like green fragrances. A lot of gentlemen from their 40s up to their 60s, early 70s, like green fragrances, but I really don't. If I like green fragrances, they're predominantly female fragrances, heck, which one is it? Number 19 Poudre. Is it number 9? Being out of the game so long, it's kind of like, if you don't work out for a while, if you don't use the muscle, you kind of lose it. I've been forgetting a lot of stuff when it comes to fragrances, but predominantly, if I do wear a green fragrance, it's going to be a female, Chanel fragrance. I think that they typically do the best green fragrances because it's not the cheap green smell that we're used to smelling. Your grandpa's aftershave, and I'm not saying that your grandpa wore cheap aftershave. I'm not saying my grandpa wore cheap aftershave, but that cheap, it smelled green, some clary sage, some cedar and musk on the bottom. It's a nice memory. It's a nice gesture. But this really is probably the best green fragrance, green or dark green fragrance I've ever smelt. It is manly and I don't mean macho as in, a derogatory term, but this is manly in a way to where it's just a man. It puts hair on your chest. It puts hair on your nutsack. It makes you want to get out and chop down trees. It makes you want to It makes you want to buy a pair of logger boots. It makes you want to put on some Wrangler jeans or some Levi's and a Carhartt shirt that has a titty pocket, and it just makes you want to do something. It makes you want to quit your office job, and go be a wildland firefighter or something like that, or be a construction worker and be a welder. Sorry, I have a bad habit of biting my lips, but for the top, middle, and base, absolutely special. And I can pick up a little bit of Eugene's Accord DNA, I guess you could say, because it doesn't smell like Bel Homme. It doesn't smell like La Dolores Squeeze, but there's something about it that kind of ties all of them together, whether it's the Iris, the Orris butter, does Bel Homme have rose? I can't remember if Bel Homme has. I know I don't smell, well, do I smell rose? I don't know if rose is listed as a note in Bel Homme, but there's definitely an Iris Accord throughout all of them. It's absolutely beautiful. It really ties this one together. It ties them all together in a beautiful way. I was laying in bed thinking, the other night, thinking about how all of them are, I feel like this one is the most separated one. But then when I smell them back to back, I'm like, no, all three of these really go together. But I've been wearing this a lot lately. Uh, actually have a pretty good dent in this one. That's a lot for me. Absolutely love it. My girlfriend loves this too. She said it really smells manly. She likes that. Iris Perle by Les Indemodables. A beautiful yellow floral with iris. That's really what this is. It's a big yellow floral with a lot of iris, powdery. It's wonderful. You really got to smell it on the skin. I don't know if it has aldehydes in it, but this honestly could be a Chanel. Someone in a fragrance group asked me, does this smell like 1932? And I said, not really, because 1932 to me is a white floral iris. This is a yellow floral iris, but they could definitely be, this could definitely be a Chanel, Les Exclusive, or just a Chanel in general. Let me see, what else have I been wearing? Oh, Feminite Dubois. Feminite Dubois by Serge Lutens. I think I picked this up for like 50 or 60 bucks. A couple years ago, maybe. Last year. Time really flies, honestly. I was talking to a guy the other day. I said, does time really go by so fast? Because, we're on call 24/7. We get called out at 3 o'clock in the morning and work 12 hours, could be on duty. I've been on duty up to 18 hours, waiting on a taxi to come pick us up in the middle of nowhere. He said, no, that's just part of getting older. Time really flies, and sometimes memories pop up of me making posts. Memories pop up with pictures, and I see stuff, and I'm like, holy crap, I thought I just got that, a couple months ago. It's been years, but a beautiful, dirty, woody. Spray a little bit of it on. Yeah, a beautiful, dirty, woodsy, musky, velvet-like. A little, nice, dirty. You get a little bit of BO in there too. It's wonderful. It's and I always say it's about Serge Lutens fragrances, but I don't know if the color of the juice impacts how it smells, because it smells like the color of it here. Kind of like dark pink, like it kind of has a, for lack of better terms, if you've ever been in the situation, gentlemen, it kind of has that dirty butt smell, if you know what I mean. It's like that. It's just so musky, and musky is not a cheap synthetic musk way, but honestly, just like like you got up and took like a girl, like I'm gonna use a female in this instance, because a man's hairy butt versus a woman's butt is different. It's like a woman, she got up, she took a shower, she went for a jog, and she came back, and you start going to town back there. It's kind of what it smells like, and I like it. And anyone will tell you, here in a couple, and even now, but I kid you not, here in a couple years, a year and a half, a year, these bottles are going to be untouchable. You're not going to be able to touch these bottles for at least under $300. I mean, the prices on these are already skyrocketing. Shishindo's Feminite Dubois, you see how much it's going for now. Imagine what this is going to go for. And the prices are already skyrocketing. People in our niche, no pun intended, part of the fragrance community, even though we're such a small community anyway, anyways compared to other communities, it's just going to get harder and harder to find. It's going to be crazy, really, to see some of this stuff. And speaking to hard to get fragrances, my pride and joy, honestly, this is my pride and joy when I wear fragrances. When I wear this fragrance, I always say, this is my favorite fragrance, this is my favorite fragrance, this is my favorite fragrance. And this will always be in my top 5. Guerlain Rose Nacre du Desert. One of the best smelling roses in this. This smells like rose This smells like every part of the rose. I mean, you get the roots, you get the stems, you get the leaves, you get the actual part of the rose blossom flower. You get the petals, you get the dew off of the ground. This smells like every part of the rose. I don't think that this could ever be redone. I don't think this could ever be done again. This is perfection. And I don't know why people at the time didn't go crazy for it. Um, I don't think anyone really ever went crazy for any of the three. I think at this time people kind of forgot about Guerlain, however you want to say it. Uh, People just kind of, at the time were uh, falling off about it. And, luckily I was able to pick this up at such a steal at the time. I don't know if you could. When did I buy this? I know at the time that's when they'd first. That I think they discontinued this one first, and then they discontinued Songe de Bois d'été, and then they reiterated Songe, and then Encens Mythique. But you couldn't get this one in the United States. I couldn't get this one from anywhere. Some of the people I'd contacted, they didn't have the bottles. I contacted like every Guerlain boutique in the United States. And then I contacted the one in Canada, and I didn't really want to pay, or one of them in Canada, and I really didn't want to pay the extra stuff they were trying to add on. So I went with my Guerlain plug in India at the time. I don't even know if the dude's still alive, but I remember it used to take, I would send him the money. I can't even remember. It might have been like mail orders. I might have like wired it to his bank. It was like really ghetto almost. And I remember it because it'd be exactly 15 days. It was exactly 15 days every single time I bought a Guerlain from him. He's like, and he told me, he's like, hey man, it's instead of like, waiting, half a month to get a fragrance, just, he said, I'll hold them for you. He said, you don't even have to put like a deposit down. He said, I'll just hold them for you. And then, you get, whatever money saved up, you can buy it. And I was like, hey, it sounds good for me. But, absolutely perfection. And, and people say, I show people stuff like this. This is an original release date, 2015, Acqua di Gio Profumo. And, I show people this, and then, I post it on Facebook groups. And it's crazy. Like this thing right here will get like 100 likes, 100 comments. It'll just, go through the roof. Like, oh man, that's so legendary. That's so amazing. How much you want to sell it? You want to get rid of it? Man, how much? They'll just be praising it. Oh man, that smells so good. That's a lady killer. It's a panty dropper. That's this. That's that. That's all this BS. And I'm like, you're going crazy over this, but I have stuff like this. Like I don't know how much I could sell this for, but I know I paid like $140, $135 for this, and it was full at the time. It was full at the time. Because like I hadn't gotten conned, but I'd like negotiated a deal like got like 3 Guerlains for like $300 or something like that. It's like crazy. No, it was like $330, but regardless, it's a crazy good deal. And then you see this stuff right here, like everyone's going crazy for it, and I'm like, this is just copy and paste. It's just like we have a DN, we have a fragrance. Let's just add a couple things to it. A couple tweaks, make it more sophisticated smelling. Let's put it out. And believe it or not, this is miles ahead better of what the BS and garbage crap they're putting out today. This does smell pretty good. When I do still wear it, and eventually when I do finish this bottle, probably gonna miss it, not gonna lie, because of all the memories in high school attached to this. But I don't know. It's funny how people act. And then then I have stuff like this Oud La Walk. I remember when I actually got this for like 10%. Was it 10 or 30? It's like either 10 or 30% off when Russian Adam or Reach the Door was just freaking heavenly, man. Like this is like something Jesus Christ would wear. This is something amazing. But when Russian Adam, I remember at the time, man, he was to the point, man, he was like giving stuff away. Like it was almost like he was like begging you to buy his stuff. It was like, take it, here, I'll send you a sample with it. I'll send you this with it. Just buy it from me. I'll mark everything down. And then now it's taken off, and like now, people can't get enough of it, and they're already buying bottles, and they're already listing them on eBay, and they haven't even got the bottles yet. It's like it's just crazy. And then I swear his blending and his quality of his stuff has gotten worse and worse. The same with Insar. It's like these guys they're just so pretentious. It's like this barber guy I was going to. He was a good barber, but he just got so pretentious. It was like, now I'm going to be opening, and this isn't necessarily pretentious, but just something I want to get off my chest. He's like, I noticed a lot of my blue collar guys, I'm closed. He said, I'm going to open up at 6 o'clock on Saturday, be open from 6 to 6 on Saturday to serve you guys. He's like, oh, and then 12 o'clock at night, Friday night. He'd be like, sorry guys, can't make it into the shop tomorrow. Had something come up, And I know that's not really being pretentious. Pretentiousness, is that a word? I don't know. We're gonna go with it anyway. But like stuff like this, it's just like pretentious, just like with Josh Lobb from Slumber House. Tsuga Parfums, he's what was his name, James. He's not to that point yet, but I think he's kind of done with the whole perfume thing. I can't find his website. It depends on what day it is. I can find him on Instagram, but and I'm sure there'll be some people, just like a nut hugger, and it's like, oh no, you can't say crap about him. But forget about it. Who cares? Insar is pretentious. I mean, just they're just recycling formulas. They're just copying over and over and over. Like Guerlain, I can't remember how many perfumes that Thierry Wasser personally made for them. On top of reformulating, huge amounts of perfumes from Guerlain. But then he's made several. Tens, maybe a couple hundred, maybe not necessarily hundreds, but let's just for craps and giggles, he's personally made 75 perfumes for Guerlain. I'm not saying all of them have been knocked down, drag out, amazing, but I'm not saying that all of them are original, but the mass majority of them have been original. The mass majority of them have been great, versus like Arige. Russian Adam, he's just recycling the same BS over and over and over. And it's getting like worse every time. Honestly, I hate to say that, but it's getting worse every time. And the price is going up every time. I was telling one dude I was telling one dude what I paid for this. I paid $110 for this right off of his website. And then the Peckerhead has the audacity to ask like $350 for 30 ml of other stuff. When I bought War and Peace 2, I only paid like $190. And then if he releases something else, he's going to be asking, $350, $400. And I understand inflation and all that stuff, even though I think that the fragrance brands and stuff are kind of over-exaggerating it. You got to take into consideration, when I was in the game, 125 ml of Dior Privé was $185. 75 ml of the Chanel Les Exclusives were $175. I think the Guerlains were 200 maybe like in the 180s, 190s, something like that. But regardless, they were at or below $200 for the 75 mLs, of course. And now you can't even buy that with the 50 mLs. It's like what, for 50 ml? It's like $250. For the 100 ml, it's $330. And then I told you basically I basically bought this for like $110 when I done the deal with the 3 Guerlains. Just crazy, really. The Tom Fords, I can't remember how much they were. I think Tom Ford, when he originally released his 50 mLs his private line. They were priced pretty high anyway, but he also didn't. They I don't say he, but they also didn't raise his price like way later. Uh, but yeah, that's when I came in the game. I remember when Christo's YouTube channel was actually Bedouin Blood, and believe it or not, his video quality was worse than mine is. But just that's back in the good old days. And something that pisses me off to no end is brands like this. Thomas DeMonico. This is a great fragrance. I'm not gonna lie. I love the way it smells. I love wearing it. I love I love that other people like it. When it comes to fragrances, I would rather you not compliment me. I'd rather just be left alone 99.99% of the time. I would love to just to not be bothered by I just love to just be left alone about stuff. But this does garner compliments. But I'm pretty sure they released more than 1,400 bottles. There's other concentrations of this. This was supposed to be just a one-time done thing, but of course, the love of money is the root of all evil. Not to try to get biblical or religious, but we can see it's obviously been happening. Just like with when was it? I can't remember how it was, and I feel bad, but at the same time, I don't care. What's it? George Zaharoff, when he released X, the first one or whatever, was supposed to be limited. I think it was supposed to be limited. I might have read something where it was limited, and then I kind of went with it just to be a negative a-hole. But it was like, oh, it's supposed to be limited, limited run, sex. And then it was kind of, and then it was sold out, and then, it's all, it's back, and then it's like, well, it's supposed to be, I thought it was supposed to be limited. That's kind of the big reason why I bought a bottle. And then I smell it, and it's like, it's good, but it's not what I was expecting. I was expecting something more like this. I was expecting, when feminine Dubois, feminine wood, wood of the feminineness, this smells like sex. This does. The other one kind of comes off as synthetic, and sex isn't really synthetic. It's natural. Or, well, I'm not going to get into that. And then last but not least, after watching Bobby's video, he pinned in the comments something that I actually bought from him, and that is Le Lion. First formulation of Chanel's Le Lion, the line, the Libra, the liberal lady, not necessarily liberal lady as in politically speaking, but liberal with who she chooses to flaunt her fanny to. Man, every time I smell this, I wish I could smell like this every single day. If I could take a pill and smell like this, I would. Man, I'd be a pill head in a heartbeat. It does go in a different direction than Shalimar. It really does. At first, I was like, I got a sample and I smelled it, and I was like, yeah, it's kind of a little bit too close to Shalimar for me, considering have multiple formulations and concentrations of Shalimar. It's kind of like, But after really smelling it, it's like, yeah, just you put up your middle finger high and just let it fly. This is like sex. This is like sex. That's what perfume really comes down to, is sex. That's why the whole world comes down to it. Just people getting off. You know what I mean? Can't really get off to something like this. This will make other people get off. Get off for virgins. And this is just, pure perfumery. It just really is. And this really is absolutely great. As much as I hate Aurige Lador, and I don't hate Russian Adam, but I just hate Aurige Lador and Insart Oud's brand. And then now I hate this. I'm just a negative person. And as you all know, I love to drag videos out. And if you're still here, then good job. But I don't really care. It's been so long since I've done this YouTube thing. I'm going to be doing a little smelling. Now my nose is kind of already bombarded from smelling other stuff, so we'll see what we get. I bought my little brother for his birthday. He loves Juliet Maud's Stairway to Heaven, not to be confused with Killian's Stairway to Heaven. I don't think Killian's Stairway to Heaven is actually that good. I think Juliet Maud's is better. They're completely different fragrances, but and this is Callisto by Juliet Maud. Really? What the heck? Seriously, this is embarrassing. This is embarrassing. A brand like Juliet Maud that's known to do stuff like known to do good stuff like Nia. There's another one that was good. Amor de Palazzo. This is embarrassing. Like, seriously, if a brand's gonna stoop that low, then it's pitiful. The Iris Way by Astrophil and Stell. I think I've sprayed this before. Okay. And nice, inoffensive. It's like Dior Homme, the way Dior Homme used to smell without the synthetic musk and without kind of the leather cocoa-ish, cacao-ish that it had. And then Just Roulette by Len, or Len. Hopefully this one's better than the first one. That first one, it just smelled like every other fragrance, man. It's just pathetic. The same, probably gonna have that same Ambrox and Isoe super dry down. It's pathetic. My nose is bombarded. Now I gotta put all this stuff up. Thanks a lot, Bobby. Hairspray. Not the movie. But this is my video. This is my reintroduction back. American Pie Lights Out. Out.